Hello and good morning and welcome to the Dan Beasley Show. Today we're going to be discussing items that are in the news regarding the Oklahoma tornado. The death toll has been revised. It's down now. Uh, Someone once told me not to ever report things before after, several days have passed, because when you have plane crashes and things like that, there's so much confusion and so much double counting of victims and things that things can be blown out of proportion. Yesterday I reported that there were 91 casualties. It turns out that there were 24 casualties. 24 fatalities. I'll put it that way. Okay. And there's 24 casualties, and it's been related to having the power as a small atomic bomb. Um, well, actually, not a small atomic bomb. It's been equated to the energy dwarfed by the power of the atomic bomb that leveled Hiroshima. Okay, so if you can put that in perspective. The recovery process is continuing. They brought in cadaver dogs and other, other pieces of equipment to remove the rubble from the tops of some of these storm cellars, and we are now looking at. I think the breakdown was 9 children were killed out of the 24. 9 children died in this terrible tragedy that happened as this tornado ripped through this part of Oklahoma City. There's a lot of ways that you can help these people by sending donations. You can send donations to the American Red Cross. You can send donations to the Salvation Army. You can also send donations through other various means, the Samaritan's Purse and other organizations that are church run that are helping these people. They showed a news clip on TV last night where more and more aid was being delivered than than they were able to get out to the responders. I mean, and to the victims. I mean, it's just been an outpouring of the nation. It's kind of like brought the nation back together again for a moment. During this tragedy, and we need to all remember that we are all each other's brother and each other's neighbor and each other's fellow citizen in this country, and we should be concerned about the condition that someone is in, even if it does not directly affect us. I mean, this is a tragedy that's on a scale. They said that the tornado was on the upper level of the F5 scale, and it was one of the largest ever recorded. I think they may have been like 9 recorded through as far back as the 1960s or the 50s. And you just can't not imagine 4 minutes of horror as this thing goes through like a mini atomic bomb that just people has to 16 minutes to respond from the National Weather Service. That's a long time. Usually you only get like 3 or 4 minutes. And if you don't seek shelter by then, they said if anyone was above ground, that this was not a survivable tornado, that you would not be able to survive this. So due to some forward-thinking people, and through the grace of God, we were able to, and through the prayers of the people, the terrible event with the number of casualties have been vastly reduced, and that is a good thing. That is a good thing, and we're looking forward to finding more and more, good news to come out of this. But they're bringing in cadaver dogs after 3 days, to try to locate victims and also to try to help with the recovery effort. In the other news today, the Weather Channel is predicting more severe weather in that the country within the country. Getting back to the organizations, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Getting back to the organizations that you can send money to or aid to assist these people, these victims and these responders, is Support First Response Team of America, and also Feeding America, and United Way of Central Oklahoma, and the Oklahoma Baptist Disaster Relief. So you can go to these folks' websites, including the Red Cross and the Salvation Army, and you can be donating, make a donation to assist these people and be a good brother and a good citizen, and show that you care, because folks, this could have happened anywhere. I mean, I know they're in Tornado Alley, but we get our share here in South Carolina, and it's 6:53 a.m. right now on 5/22/2013. But today we're supposed to be experiencing some sporadic rain that is heavy downpours. That's what we had yesterday. Also, early yesterday morning we had downpours, and also it went all the way across the state to the coast. We've got to realize that there's no safe place in this country to live. I mean, the desert has downpours. The desert has earthquakes. Oregon gets their share of earthquakes, and don't forget Mount St. Helens there, near Washington, and also in Oregon. Also, you've got strong tsunamis that could happen at any time in the Pacific, on the Pacific coast, and also the eastern coast is not immune to these things as well. The East Coast has volcanoes. They have volcanoes down near the tropical section on the East Coast of North and South America. Well, mostly South America for the volcanoes. But there is a problem. I mean, it's just everywhere. I mean, if it's not tornadoes, it's hurricanes. If it's not hurricanes, then it's blizzards. If it's not blizzards, then it's mudslides and flooding. So anyway, we need to stand together as Americans and help these people as much as possible. I think it is the common decent thing to do. Along the same vein of discussion with the tornado stories, we have a lot of other stories that are pushed back to the back burner, and people don't know what's going on. The fraud in the IRS is continuing. The investigations, and they're all taking the Fifth Amendment, which means that they refuse to testify, therefore not having to imply that they had anything to do with anything. They're protecting themselves under the Constitution. And I guess that's another constitutional thing that, a constitutional crisis that's being brought up for attack. So here we've got freedom of speech being attacked here in this country. We've got also the Second Amendment, the Sixth Amendment, and now here's the Fifth Amendment. So it sounds like to me the Constitution is being tested. It's being given the acid test. While everyone was looking at the Oklahoma situation, and rightfully so, here comes a story out of Washington about how the Senate has passed. So the Senate panel has passed a bill. Well, let's put it this way. Let me rephrase that. The United States Senate panel has approved a plan for the illegal immigrants to become citizens. And the approval rate for this particular project, no one has hardly turned away. It's like 99%. And there's talk about anything that's not 99%, it's a situation that the immigration officer union is raising concerns about fraud and security risk. And the program called into question is deferred action for childhood arrivals. And that allows some illegal immigrants who came to the U.S. as children to seek tentative legal status. Okay, well, there's another run around the end zone there to score a touchdown and to subvert the Constitution and subvert the laws, the immigration laws. It was the administration's answer to what was called the DREAM Act. It was a bill that Congress drafted but did not approve. The union represented thousands of U.S. immigration services and citizenship, which processes these applications, complained this week that workers were being compelled to rubber stamp all kinds of applications. So now the approval rate is 99%. I will withhold comment on that. In the news also, there was a U.S. Army general that was suspended for adultery. He was stationed at Fort Jackson, South Carolina, and he's being charged with misconduct involving adultery and unspecified physical altercation. You wonder why people are put under scrutiny that are in high positions, high political and high military positions, when it's in our today's culture, it's casual sex and everything else, and everyone seems to say, well, what's the big deal? But the big deal is the security of the United States can be subverted by foreign spies who usually use females as the means of subversion. So, in order to get information, they send women that are specifically trained in the area of seducing and getting people to get physically and personally involved with them, and therefore it compromises the security of this country. That's why they should be held to a higher level than most people. And they know that. They know that. Whenever they take these offices, they know that. That the spies, are there. And they know that, subversion could happen and everything else. But still, at a weak moment or whatever, anyone could talk in sleep or whatever,